Most people think intelligence is about knowing more facts, solving math problems faster, or having a bigger vocabulary. But after studying the behavior patterns of people with extremely high IQ, the top 1% of the population, researchers found something surprising. The most defining traits of high IQ individuals have almost nothing to do with knowledge. They have to do with how the mind processes the world, how it handles emotions, and how it relates to other people. In fact, some of these traits make highly intelligent people look strange, awkward, or even difficult. To those who don't understand what's happening underneath, today we're going to break down the psychology of people with extremely high IQ, the hidden patterns of thought, behavior, and emotion that separate them from everyone else. By the end of this video, you might recognize some of these traits in yourself. Number 1. They feel comfortable with uncertainty. Most people crave certainty. They want clear answers, fixed rules, and predictable outcomes. Uncertainty feels threatening, so the brain rushes to resolve it, even if that means accepting an answer that isn't fully correct, just because it feels safer than not knowing. People with extremely high IQ operate differently. Psychologists have observed that highly intelligent individuals tend to have a higher tolerance for ambiguity. Instead of rushing to a conclusion, they can hold a question open in their mind for a long time, turning it over from different angles without needing to resolve it immediately. This is why brilliant scientists, philosophers, and inventors often say, "I don't know," more often than average people. Not because they know less, but because they understand how much they don't know. Their minds are comfortable sitting in the gray area between confusion and clarity, because that's where real understanding is built. Number 2. They struggle with small talk, but thrive in deep conversation. Conversations about the weather, weekend plans, or celebrity gossip can feel exhausting to a highly intelligent mind. Not because they think they're better than other people, but because small talk doesn't activate the kind of mental engagement their brain is wired to seek. Their minds are constantly searching for patterns, connections, and meaning. A surface-level conversation gives the brain almost nothing to work with. It's like asking a high-performance engine to idle in a parking lot all day. But give that same person a conversation about psychology, history, philosophy, or how something actually works, and their entire energy shifts. They become animated, curious, and deeply present. This is why many highly intelligent people seem socially awkward in casual settings, yet incredibly engaging the moment a real, substantive topic comes up. Number 3. They question their own assumptions constantly. Average thinking tends to be defensive. Once someone settles on a belief, their mind works to protect that belief, searching for evidence that confirms it and avoiding information that challenges it. This is called confirmation bias, and it affects everyone to some degree. But people with extremely high IQ are more likely to actively look for flaws in their own thinking. They ask themselves, "What if I'm wrong about this? What evidence would change my mind? Am I believing this because it's true or because it's comfortable?" This habit can feel uncomfortable, even painful, because it means living with constant self-doubt about your own conclusions. But it's also why highly intelligent people tend to update their opinions more often, and why they're often years ahead of the crowd in recognizing when something doesn't add up. Number 4, they overthink, but for a reason. We often hear overthinking used as a negative term, something people should avoid. But for highly intelligent individuals, what looks like overthinking from the outside is often the brain running deep simulations, playing out multiple scenarios, consequences, and counter-arguments before making a decision. This can slow them down. It can make simple decisions like choosing a restaurant or replying to a text message take far longer than they should. But this same mental process is also what allows them to anticipate problems before they happen, spot risks others miss, and make decisions that hold up under pressure. The key difference between overthinking and deep thinking isn't the amount of thinking. It's whether that thinking eventually leads to a decision or just loops endlessly without resolution. Highly intelligent people who manage this well learn to set a mental deadline, think deeply, but eventually act. Number 5. They have a strong sense of humor, often dark, dry, or absurd. Humor requires the brain to recognize unexpected patterns and connections, which is exactly what high intelligence is built for. Studies have found a correlation between high IQ and a preference for dark or absurdist humor. This isn't because intelligent people are cold or lack empathy, it's because their minds are quick enough to process the layers of a joke, the setup, the twist, the irony, almost instantly. Where an average mind might need a joke explained, a highly intelligent mind already sees 3 other ways the joke could have gone. This is also why intelligent people are often the ones making sharp, sarcastic observations in a group. Their humor isn't random. It's a byproduct of a brain that's constantly noticing the gap between how things appear and how things actually are. Number 6, they feel intense emotions and often hide them. There's a myth that highly intelligent people are emotionally detached, almost robotic, relying purely on logic. The reality is often the opposite. Many highly intelligent individuals report feeling emotions more intensely than people around them, a phenomenon sometimes linked to overexcitability, a trait studied in gifted individuals. They feel joy, frustration, sadness, and anxiety on a deeper level. But because their minds are also highly analytical, they often process these emotions internally, analyzing them rather than expressing them outwardly. To others, this can look like calmness or indifference. In reality, there's often a storm of thought and feeling happening just beneath the surface, being quietly examined, labeled, and managed. Number 7, they get bored extremely easily. Boredom isn't just having nothing to do. For a highly intelligent mind, boredom is the feeling of a brain that isn't being challenged, and that feeling can be almost unbearable. This is why many highly intelligent people jump between hobbies, projects, and interests rapidly. It's not a lack of discipline. It's a brain that needs novelty and complexity the way other brains need rest. Repetitive tasks, routine jobs, and predictable environments can drain a highly intelligent person's motivation faster than almost anything else. Not because they're lazy, but because their mind is built to seek growth, and growth requires change. Number 8, they prefer being alone, but not because they dislike people. Solitude, for a highly intelligent person, isn't about avoiding others. It's about recreating the conditions their mind needs to function at its best. Quiet, uninterrupted space to think, process, and create. Constant social interaction can feel like static noise that drowns out their internal world. This is why so many breakthroughs in science, art, and philosophy happen in solitude. Not because intelligent people are antisocial, but because deep thought requires an environment without constant external input. Once that thinking is done, many highly intelligent people genuinely enjoy connecting with others, but only after they've had the mental space to process their own thoughts first. So what does all of this mean? If you recognized yourself in several of these traits: comfort with uncertainty, dislike of small talk, constant self-questioning, deep thinking that looks like overthinking, dark humor, hidden intensity of emotion, easy boredom, and a need for solitude. It doesn't necessarily mean you have an extremely high IQ, but it does mean your mind is wired to seek depth over surface, meaning over noise, and growth over comfort. The challenge isn't to prove how smart you are. The challenge is learning to manage a mind that thinks differently, so that instead of feeling isolated by it, you can use it as the advantage it actually is. If this video helped you understand your own mind a little better, subscribe to the Unbecoming, because every single day we explore the psychology behind the way people think, feel, and grow.